Welcome back, Alpha Strikers, for another episode of Professor Erx Clicks Academy for Higher Learning. Yes, we have not been in session for quite some time, but we've decided to come back today to pay homage to ye old Batcave tournament prize at request of
Charles Franklin on Facebook.
So we did already film this once, but our microphone ate the footage. We're so sorry that it's taken us this long to get it out. This should have been out probably 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
But we're coming back to it, doing a re-record because you asked for it, and we're bringing it to you.
Yes.
All right. Professor Erx, start us off. What are we looking at?
All right, so this is the Batcave, guys. It is, for all intents and purposes, a resource. 100%. Force construction. Reading it off to you. The Batcave costs 85 points and is assigned to a chosen character when you build your force. This character can be assigned the utility belt with up to 6 utility belt items at no additional cost. The Batcave can be assigned to additional characters for 10 points each. The Batcave adds Batcave Computer to your force. Period. The Batcave can be played with a cost of 100 points. If you do, the Batcave adds Batcave Computer and Alfred Pennyworth on the back there to your force. The Batcave can't be assigned to either of those two characters.
All right,
Break
so
that
we're
down.
looking at 85 points or 100 points, depending if you want Alfred, the back dial, to join you. You assign the whole device to at least one character for free. That character also gains the Bat Belt and all its wondrous, gloriousness, magnifloriousness. Wow, I didn't think I could make that word any better.
Word of the week, yo.
Magnifloriousness. Okay, and then for an additional 10 points, you can assign the dials for offense and defense, basically the whole unit, not the Bat Belt, but the dials, to an additional character for 10 points each.
Okay, next is setup. The Batcave is placed in your starting area and can't be moved or placed, so pick a good spot, guys.
Now keep in mind, this is 3 by 6, I believe.
Yes.
So it does need to occupy a total of 18 squares, which means you will have to extend your starting area by 1 square, and because this particular map we're on, it would basically destroy those squares of the blocking terrain.
And it says, it can't be moved or replaced by any game effect. All squares occupied by the Batcave are considered to be clear terrain.
Alright, so that means whatever squares were beneath these 18 squares are now clear terrain. That's it. They could have been blocking, could have been hindering, doesn't matter. It's not hiding in stealth. You can't just say, I'm setting this in a big section of hindering terrain, so you can't shoot the Batcave because it's got the Batman team ability. Nope, it's every square it occupies is considered clear terrain.
So if there's hindering terrain printed in front of it and they're trying to shoot it, then stealth kicks in depending where they shoot.
Keep in mind, Smoke Cloud generates 6 squares, which makes a perfect line of stealth for your Batcave Computer and Alfred dials.
So having a Robin on tap who can do, Smoke Cloud every other turn wouldn't be a bad idea. Gameplay, ready? Batcave Computer and Alfred Pennyworth are each considered to occupy all of the squares occupied by the Batcave. Each can be given actions during your turn.
So, just real quick, this means that this actually breaks the rule of occupancy. Rule of occupancy states only one character can occupy 1 square at a time. This specifically breaks that rule. All 18 squares of this base are considered to both be the Batcave Computer and Alfred. So when someone is attacking it, they need to designate whether they're shooting Alfred or the Batcave Computer, and neither blocks the other for line of fire purposes.
Correct. Also, they are separate characters. Each character can attack or be attacked from any square occupied by the Batcave. Victory points for the Batcave, all points added to your force as per force construction,
which would be the 100 and or 10 points for each character,
are scored only after the Batcave Computer and Alfred Pennyworth, if he's on your force, are defeated. When the Batcave is defeated, remove the resource from the game. Away it goes. So this thing also has, besides the Batcave and Batcave Computer and Alfred Pennyworth, has the offense and defense dials. These things are a little tricky, so we're going to go kind of slow with these, but Mike has it down. So these dials display powers and abilities using standard combat symbols, colors, team ability icons, and special powers. At the beginning of your turn, roll a d6 that can't be re-rolled and click both the offense dial and defense dial that many times to the right. Pretty simple, guys. Now, all characters assigned the Batcave can use the powers and abilities indicated by the offense dial.
So I've turned this 4 clicks. They've got JLA, so everybody who is assigned to the Batcave can use the Justice League team ability.
Alright. And then opposing characters can't use any powers or abilities indicated by the defense dial.
On the defense dial, on click 5, we have range combat experts. That means they cannot target my characters with range combat experts that have been assigned to the dial.
Yep. If they would target a character assigned to the Batcave or are targeted by a character assigned to the Batcave. So, as he was saying, if they have it or my character has it, they can't target that character. Is that correct, Mike? You know?
No. So if Batman's out there and I have defensively range combat expert, if they try and target Batman, they can't use range combat expert to target anybody who was equipped to the Batcave or the Batcave was equipped to.
Sorry. So a better example is if the defense dial showed a defense power and you targeted that character, they can't use that defense.
They wouldn't be able to use that defense power.
Got you. All right. Next, the defense dial may also indicate a special power that modifies an opposing character's combat values if they would target an opposing character assigned to the Batcave. Meaning, if it says they have -1 to their attack values.
If they go to shoot me, they get -1s.
Yep. Okay. And then, of course, all of the different things on the dials.
There's a lot of things on those dials, but
It covers almost everything. Like
there's a lot of powers there. And didn't it say you roll a d6 and turn it each turn?
yes, beginning of your turn, you roll d6 and turn both dials that many
So
clicks.
they're always going to be on the same click.
Yep. So keep that in mind. Watch that. Make sure you do both. So we're going to go over the characters now. The Batcave Computer. Both Batcave Computer and Alfred Pennyworth both have Batman ally team abilities and Hyper Time. So that gives your characters, let's say you have wild cards on your team, they can copy the Batman allies. Hyper Time is not copyable. Sorry. So the trait that the Batcave Computer gives you says Security Defense System. Batcave Computer can't be targeted by opposing characters more than 4 squares away. Batcave Computer's combat values can't be modified or replaced. When other friendly characters are on the map, Batcave Computer may only attack adjacent characters and characters that have attacked it since its last turn. Go ahead and break that down.
So you can't modify the Batcave's values. No perplexes up, no perplexes down, no reducers, no increasers. What it's got is what it has. If Two-Face is adjacent to the Batcave Computer, it can attack it. If Riddler was more than
4 squares.
4 squares out, he can't shoot it at range. It's got that, hey, you're greater than 4 squares from me, you can't see me. But if I were within range, I could shoot the Bat Computer. Now, the Batcave Computer can only attack anybody who's adjacent or that has attacked it since its last turn. Or did it say friendlies as well?
No, just
So,
him.
If Riddler's standing right here and he's been shooting at Batman and Nightwing all day long, the Batcave Computer can't do anything to stop the Riddler because the Riddler's not shooting the Batcave.
Yep. Alright. Then it goes on to say, when all other friendly characters have been defeated, Batcave Computer may target opposing characters regardless of range or line of fire.
I can shoot Bane all the way over there
Just
because there's nobody else friendly on the board.
And the Batcave cannot be healed ever.
No fixing that computer, guys.
It's taking damage, it will die eventually. Alright, there's also a special pulse wave power that the card has wrong. It's yellow, but it should be white. It says Batcave Computer can use Pulse Wave. When it does, friendly characters named Alfred Pennyworth are not affected by the use of this Pulse Wave.
And they have that so you don't accidentally pulse wave your own Alfred.
Yep, because they occupy all the same squares.
Now, from the wording on the Batcave to be able to shoot anywhere, does that mean Alfred also has to be dead too? Because it says all other friendly characters on your force. So Alfred has to KO as well before the Batcave Computer can start shooting anywhere.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay, and last but not least, Alfred Pennyworth himself. This dial is pretty interesting. So it has a speed power on the last bit of its dial.
The last click.
Last click. It's called Come Alfred, I Need You. Give Alfred Pennyworth a power action. Place from the Batman set number 31 or the Fast Forces one, number 5.
It'll look like this.
Alfred Pennyworth from outside the game in a square adjacent to the Batcave on click number 3.
Click 3.
The Batcave is then assigned to that character at no cost. After action resolve, deal that character 1 unavoidable damage. The Alfred
one.
Pennyworth
On the dial.
on the Batcave, KOing it, leaving only the Batcave at that point.
Now, I'm gonna argue some design points here. It would have been really cool if they had switch clicks at the time and this Alfred came off.
And went on a dial.
Went on a dial. That way he actually left the Batcave.
It
Digressing.
It would look cool, you know.
It would have been cool.
WizKids, we don't mind a No Man's Land OP thing. Something like that, where there's another Batcave prize. I would play every month to get that again, with updated stuff. Alright, so, the let's see, damage power it has, I think, beginning dials.
I think it's actually,
Is it?
yeah, it has it on its first couple clicks.
Okay. It's the fully stocked ER. Alfred Pennyworth can use support. When he does, he can heal a friendly character even if he or the friendly character are adjacent to an opposing character. So it's a super support in your starting area that your opponent can't keep you from getting.
So support is canceled by having adjacency to opposing characters. In this case, all Batman would have to be, or anybody who is signed to the Batcave, would need to be next to the base somewhere, and you could support them even if he's currently in a fight with Two-Face. So he's boxing it out with Two-Face, and Alfred's stitching him up at the same time.
So Batman
That's
can
skill.
swing again. So guys, that has been the Batcave. This has been some kind of retro tech, but it's been really kind of fun going back and looking at this piece and seeing what it can do.
Now, remember, when using this, the Batcave, or the Bat Belt, is an amazing resource, not just for the +2s that it offers, but for all the gizmos on the belt. I found using the gizmos came in more handy than the +2s that show up every once in a while.
And if you practice with this thing, and you can remember where the parachutes are and get them all back, oh my gosh.
It just keeps going.
Mike and I, when we first started playing together, he showed me the power of this thing, and he just knew how to nail those parachutes, man. I was terrified of that thing. When I first started playing Batman, the Gauntlet, the Bat Belt, and the Gauntlet, like the first 2 resources that were out, and I wasn't into the metagame then. I was still kind of like, oh yeah, fun pieces, roll dice, and click dials. I didn't even think of looking at that thing.
And also remember that the Bat Belt grants willpower if it has 3 or more objects. If it's fully loaded, it gives you the ability to make it so a character within 10 squares can't use a team ability.
Oh.
That's
Wow.
right, Power Cosmic. Bye. I'm Batman.
A 10 square aura if you can't use team abilities?
No, you get to pick one and just say, you can't use Power Cosmic.
You pick one guy.
Yep. You can't use Mystics. You can't use Outsiders, because I'm Batman.
You can't use KC team ability?
Yes.
That extra blasted super senses that they get?
Nope.
No.
I'm Batman.
Now, I have a question about that they might want to know, which wouldn't ever affect anything modern age. But if that thing said they can't use the KC team ability, would their trait that says...
Yeah, I know what it says. I believe your question is, would it still go into effect? Yes. Would they not be able to modify themselves? Correct.
Because they no longer possess.
Well, they don't. They still possess it, but they can't
They
use.
can't use.
So it depends if it says
It has the
possessed or
symbol.
used.
It has the symbol, like the new with.
Okay.
With means possessed.
Possessed.
With the printed symbol.
So they would still be able
It's
to
so-
modify their own values.
Good to know. Unless WizKids says otherwise, but I don't think it's a
I don't
viable
think
question.
they will because they've already ruled that Amanda Waller.
Yep.
But we're rambling, digressing. We've been doing this a lot lately.
We have
Sorry.
so much fun, guys. Sorry. Thank you, Charles Franklin, for suggesting to have us look at the Batcave. I hope now you and I think it was your son who wanted to play it, can now play that and have fun with it. It looks more intimidating than it really is.
I did play it in a tournament once. Well, kind of just a weekend play kind of thing. I felt terrible playing this. I spent more time turning dials and rolling dice and telling people what they could or could not do than he actually took taking his turns. So it is definitely a dominating piece for 100 points. I recommend rolling it at about 4 to 600 point game. That way you can get quite a few different Batman allies on there, or maybe even a Justice League teamed up with Batman going against a good solid force to make all the randomness of the offense and defense styles really come into play and get the real feel for it. And again, master your utility belts because this is amazing, and then you just get the Alfred and the Batcave computer thrown in as an extra.
Now, one last thing. If you guys are watching this and are curious about the going rate of said Batcave and or belt, what would you think most?
Cave, $20.
Easy.
Easy.
How about a mostly...
Back in the day, it went for 100, but it's come down. It's probably about $20. Belts, depending on how many pouches you get with it, will run anywhere from 5 to 15.
So, see you guys, you gotta put some Golden Age tech. It won't cost you every dollar you own. Just have fun. That's what you can do these ones, guys. Well, that has been...
Professor Erx Academy for higher learning.
Thank you, Mike. See you guys in the next one. Remember,
Strike first.
and strike hard.